like to do a reality check with each one of you. This will apply to all of you, males and females. I'd like you to walk through a visualization with me. Imagine yourself, you are a successful employee. You have worked hard for your career. You work for a good company. You like your bosses. You like your coworkers. You have had a significant amount of growth opportunities over the years. In fact, your income has steadily increased also. You live a pretty comfortable life at work. You've never been in trouble. Life is pretty good and you're happy with where you are. One day, you come to work as usual. You're busy juggling your normal demands of a work day. You might have a client that has a huge problem that you need to put out, or you might be getting ready for a presentation for a big stressful meeting that you have coming up. And then out of nowhere, your world is about to crash. You sit down to check your email, you see you have an email waiting from Human Resources, or maybe you get a call from your boss, or worst case scenario, you get visited by the company attorneys. You've been named in a lawsuit by another employee. They have claimed that you discriminated against them for hostile work environment based on a protected class, such as age, race, disability, sex, etc. Now you've learned that the company has to do an investigation. They have to interview all the employees that have worked with you about your workplace behavior. You cannot retaliate against the individual that filed this lawsuit, which means also you can't talk to anybody at work about the situation for fear of being terminated yourself. Panic sets in, you feel a little blindsided. Is your job in danger? Will you have enough money to pay attorney fees? What are you going to tell your family and your friends? Are your coworkers assuming that you're already guilty? You can't defend yourself to them because you can't talk to them about it. At this point, you have ignored all that you were supposed to be doing at work today. You can't focus. And if you are a good person, you might be asking yourself whether or not you really did do something to offend somebody else. No matter what, your professional life has changed forever. In a matter of minutes, you are facing damage to your reputation, embarrassment of being accused, disruption to your job responsibilities, the stress of legal fees, time for depositions, meetings to meet with your attorney, possible demotion, possible job transfer, possible termination, which means loss of benefits, loss of job title that you've worked all these years to get. Take a deep breath. This could be a common situation that we're talking about. So let's pick out something that does happen often that you may not have thought about. Maybe what happened here is you were telling jokes with a coworker, and this is a coworker that you guys engage in jokes frequently. There could be a third person who's not part of your conversation who overhears the joke. You have offended somebody other than the person you told the joke to. So what matters is not what your intention was, but what matters is how this other person feels about what you're saying. These are tips for the bystander, the person who witnesses the jokes. You see how that joke that Sally told could possibly offend somebody else. So here are the tips for you as the bystander. First tip, intervene immediately. So as Sally is telling the joke, hey, Sally, that joke is inappropriate here. Second, privately take Sally aside and say, Sally, are you aware that that joke that you just told is inappropriate? That it crossed the line? Your third tip, as the bystander, you privately take the person that you think could possibly feel uncomfortable with the joke that they overheard this morning. You take them aside and you say, hey, are you okay with that joke that Sally told this morning? You start a conversation, because starting a conversation, one of these three ways, will go a long way in preventing any type of claim that could be filed. Now we're going to talk about tips for the individual who crosses the line, the individual whose behavior may make somebody feel uncomfortable. So let's pretend it's you. First tip, you need to be aware of others and how they respond to you, especially in the workplace. Number two, you need to be careful what you say and what you do at all times in a work situation. Number three, you need to change your behavior. If anyone gives you any reason to believe that you have crossed the line, it is up to you to respond calmly, to show appreciation to that person because they are pointing out that your behavior could be unreasonable, it could be uncomfortable, it could be inappropriate to another individual. They are helping you to avoid a complaint being filed against you. They are helping you to avoid the visualization process that we went through. You have worked hard for your job. You have worked hard to earn the job title that you have. You can't control how another person feels. You can control your own behavior, and at work, you need to be as careful as possible.